You think you know what women want. Think again, because what society shows you, the flowers, the expensive dinners, the endless compliments, is only scratching the surface. There's a side of female desire that's rarely spoken about. Not because it's shameful, but because it's powerful. And today I'm lifting the veil. These are the 5 secrets of female desires that no one tells you, not your boys, not the magazines, not even most women themselves. Many people misunderstand what truly attracts a woman, often assuming it's all about stability, comfort, or expensive gifts. But the truth is that women are far more emotionally complex and instinctively drawn to experiences that spark a deeper part of their psyche. What women really crave, beyond the safety and comfort that society encourages men to provide, is emotional adventure. That doesn't mean chaos or toxicity. It means being mentally and emotionally engaged. Women desire a connection that makes them feel alive, and that means tapping into a range of emotions, not just joy, but curiosity, excitement, vulnerability, and even occasional frustration. A man who can offer a roller coaster of emotional experiences without being toxic or manipulative becomes an unforgettable presence in a woman's life. She doesn't want predictability that borders on boredom. She wants someone who can challenge her thoughts, surprise her with his behavior, and stimulate her mind and heart. Being too agreeable or overly accommodating can actually backfire because it deprives her of the natural tension that keeps attraction alive. Conflict, when handled maturely, can even increase intimacy and pull her in closer because it shows depth and emotional investment. This is why the nice guy, who never disagrees, who always says yes, and who tries to please at all costs, often ends up being overlooked or friends-owned. Women are emotional creatures by design, and when they are around a man who is emotionally bland, they lose interest, even if he's good, looking, successful, or generous. What keeps them coming back is the man who can make them feel multiple layers of emotion in a single conversation. This doesn't mean playing games. It means being your full, authentic self, including your humor, confidence, playfulness, boundaries, and ambition. When a woman sees that you're capable of taking her through an emotional journey, she feels deeply connected and stimulated, which awakens a desire that isn't superficial but psychological and lasting. Emotional adventure is what truly pulls her in and keeps her invested, even when she can't quite put her finger on why. The allure of masculine energy often goes unnoticed or misunderstood in a world so focused on physical appearance and superficial charm. Many men spend a lot of time in the gym or obsess over their looks, thinking that a six-pack or a designer wardrobe will unlock a woman's desire, but they miss the mark. What truly draws women in is masculine energy, the calm, centered, decisive presence of a man who knows who he is and doesn't need to prove anything. This kind of energy is primal and resonates deeply with a woman's subconscious. She picks up on it in the way he carries himself, how he makes decisions, how he speaks, how he reacts under pressure, and how he treats others. Masculine energy exudes safety, direction, and leadership, and when a woman senses it, she instinctively softens. This is not about being domineering or controlling. True masculine energy has nothing to do with aggression. In fact, it's the opposite. It's grounded, steady, and secure. It makes a woman feel like she can relax, trust, and follow. That's why a man with average looks but strong masculine energy can easily outshine a handsome man who lacks direction or presence. It's also why certain men, who might not be classically attractive, still have women drawn to them. They project confidence, purpose, and strength. Masculine energy is felt in silence, in eye contact, in the way you move and respond. Women are biologically wired to seek out this energy because it signals protection, stability, and leadership. This is why passive behavior, indecisiveness, and excessive people pleasing can be such turn-offs, even if a man is kind-hearted. When a man is rooted in his masculine core, women feel a magnetic pull, not because he's trying to seduce her, but because his natural energy awakens something dormant in her. It's the raw chemistry that doesn't need explanation. Women might not articulate it this way, but deep inside, their bodies and emotions respond powerfully to masculine energy, far more than to physical traits alone. Confidence is often mistaken for arrogance or loudness, but the kind of confidence that women are most drawn to is subtle, steady, and quiet, the kind that doesn't need to be declared to be felt. This form of confidence is magnetic because it shows in every small action, not just in what a man says. It shows in how he walks, how he maintains eye contact, how he reacts when things don't go his way, and how he holds boundaries even when it's uncomfortable. Women are constantly reading between the lines, picking up on social cues and unspoken behaviors. They can sense insecurity even when a man tries to hide it behind humor, bravado, or wealth. True confidence, on the other hand, feels safe and trustworthy. It says, "I don't need you to like me, but I would love for us to connect." That simple shift in energy makes a world of difference. A confident man doesn't rush, doesn't chase validation, and doesn't fear rejection, because he knows his value doesn't diminish based on someone else's opinion. Women respond to this deeply because it allows them to relax and feel like they're engaging with a man who won't crumble under pressure or become emotionally needy. That strength, that internal steadiness, becomes an anchor. Even if he's not the loudest guy in the room, his presence is felt. Confidence also gives a man the courage to be honest, to walk away when something doesn't align, and to pursue his passions unapologetically. These qualities are deeply attractive because they signal that he has a life, a vision, and a backbone, and when a woman encounters that, she feels challenged and intrigued. Her mind races with curiosity. What makes this man so centered? That curiosity breeds attraction. It's not about showing off or putting others down. It's about showing up authentically and trusting that who you are is enough. And when that kind of confidence is felt, desire naturally follows. One of the most overlooked sources of attraction in relationships is communication. While many men think their looks or possessions will win a woman over, they miss the fact that the way they communicate can either kill attraction or ignite it. Women crave meaningful connection, not just surface-level charm. They want to feel emotionally and intellectually seen. When a man speaks with clarity, intention, and authenticity, he shows her that he values real intimacy, not just attention. This goes far beyond compliments or flirtatious banter. It's in the way he asks questions that show genuine curiosity, the way he listens without trying to fix her, and the way he shares his own thoughts vulnerably. This creates a space where she feels safe to be herself without fear of judgment, and that emotional safety becomes a breeding ground for desire. Communication is also about timing and tone. A man who knows how to speak with calm confidence, who knows when to challenge her and when to encourage her, awakens her emotionally. That's when she begins to associate his voice, his words, and his energy with comfort and excitement. This doesn't mean talking non-stop or oversharing. It means being intentional, present, and emotionally available. A woman doesn't fall in love with a man who simply looks good. She falls for the man who makes her feel good through the quality of their interactions. That's why many women will say, "I don't know what it is about him. I just feel so connected." That connection is built through communication that goes beyond words and taps into the emotional realm. When a man can create that connection consistently, it becomes the strongest form of seduction, making him unforgettable in her mind and heart. Deep inside every woman is a desire to let go and surrender, not in the sense of becoming submissive or weak, but in the sense of fully trusting someone enough to be vulnerable and open. That surrender is a powerful expression of feminine energy, but it only comes out when a woman feels safe and emotionally secure. She wants to feel like she can lean into a man's leadership, his strength, and his clarity, knowing that he won't misuse her vulnerability or take advantage of her openness. This is why a man's ability to lead with integrity, purpose, and compassion is so crucial. Women don't want to be in control all the time. They are often forced to be in control by circumstance. But when they encounter a man who is grounded and capable, they naturally feel the urge to relax, to trust, to follow his lead emotionally, mentally, and even sexually. It's not about dominance, it's about responsibility. The man who takes emotional responsibility for his words, his actions, and his direction in life becomes a pillar of trust, and that trust unlocks a deep level of intimacy that cannot be faked. When a woman feels this trust, she is willing to give herself fully, not just her body, but her heart and soul. That kind of surrender is what turns physical attraction into emotional devotion. It creates a bond that goes beyond logic or reason. But it only happens with a man who proves, through consistent behavior, that he can be trusted with her most vulnerable self. When a woman feels that, her deepest desires awaken and her emotional walls begin to melt. Understanding female desire is not about memorizing lines, playing mind games, or trying to be someone you're not. It's about developing emotional intelligence, the ability to read between the lines, to be aware of her nonverbal cues, and to understand the deeper layers of her behavior. Women may say one thing but feel another, not because they're deceptive, but because their emotional world is rich and complex. A man who understands this doesn't try to control it. He flows with it. He recognizes when she needs space, when she wants to be held, when she's testing his strength, or when she's craving emotional reassurance. Emotional intelligence is about attunement. It's about being connected to your own emotions so that you can relate to hers without getting lost. It's knowing how to create space for her feelings without trying to fix them, and it's being able to handle emotional tension without running away or becoming reactive. When a man can do this, he becomes rare. He becomes the kind of man who not only attracts women, but keeps them deeply connected. Because what women desire most is not perfection, but presence. A man who sees them, hears them, and responds from a place of grounded awareness. Emotional intelligence allows you to bypass surface-level attraction and tap into something deeper, something that resonates with a woman's heart and soul. It makes you unforgettable because it touches the parts of her that most people ignore. And in that connection lies the most potent form of desire, one that's rooted in truth, intimacy, and mutual respect.